When it comes to going green, what works, what doesn't, and what will it cost ultimately? William Lajeunesse is live in Colton, California, where a cement manufacturer says that his business may be forced to change if the law changes. William, how so? Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Well, what is rhetoric in Washington is already reality in California. As you said, we're the first state in the country to actually regulate CO2 emissions. You can do that two different ways. You can do it legislatively, like they're talking about in Washington, cap and trade, or you can do it through direct regulation, administratively. That's happening here in California. I'm at Cal Portland Cement. They've been making cement for Los Angeles for more than 100 years. Now, the state says they have to cut their CO2 emissions by 12%. Now, the state said it's not a big deal. It costs them about $20 million. This company says it would cost them 10 times that amount, closer to $200 million. That would make them, they say, uncompetitive and unprofitable.
It is in the order of magnitude of maybe adding 40 or 50% to our cost structure and adding $250 million in capital investment that we do not believe we could ever get out. If it ultimately comes to that, we will probably be forced to shut this plant down.
And, Bill, that would mean they'd have to basically put 140 people out of work. And the difference there is, according to this company, they would literally have to change the entire process, going from coal, which, of course, is very energy intensive and does create a lot of pollution, to something like natural gas. And it's simply they couldn't recoup their investment. They lose out to competitors. And so, therefore, they'd have to shut down.
So then that is his position. Flip it around, though. What is the price we pay for clean air, William? Can we put a price on that?
Well, the state says, listen, it's going to cost you maybe $250 million, but to do nothing is going to cost more in the end. Now, the company's response to that is several. Number one, there's 11 companies here in California that have to do the same thing. You have an issue called leakage. Already, 40% of the cement in California comes in from Mexico and China, which have no pollution controls whatsoever. So you force these guys to put in $250 million of retrofits to make their emissions cleaner, and what happens? They go out of business. Then you have Mexican and Chinese cement coming in, which have no pollution controls. So you have feel-good legislation here in the U.S., but you're basically creating more pollution overseas as they replace the production capacity that is lost here. So what have you gained? Nothing. Now they're going to want to work with the state and basically try to come up with something, but this plant is so old it really would go out of business under the restrictions that the state is putting them under.
We understand that now. William, thank you for that. William Lajeunesse, thank you. Live in Colton, California on that. Jamie, what's coming up?